Alright guys, give you an update where I'm at on the Hemi swap for the Jeep right there. It's been a while since I posted something on it. Filed my other videos and I'm putting a pool in, so that's what kind of delayed this, but this is where we're at on it. We just broke it down 2 weeks ago, tore it apart. This is out of a car originally, and you have to convert the bottom end to a truck and the top end to essentially the Grand Cherokee that had a Hemi in it, so it fits under the hood. So I'll show you what we got, what to expect from when you get your kit. This one came from Jeep Speed Shop out of California. Here's the wiring harness for it, all done, factory connections. Everything was actually, I believe, done by the factory. And then there's your new computer for it. When I ordered the headers and the full exhaust kit for it. So there's the headers, painted in black, wrapped them in the black titanium wrap. Turned out good. Your weld-on motor mounts, the airbox with the inlet. That's your trans mount, shifts your transmission back, and then these get welded around the cross member, kind of like they were sitting there. Tip them relocation, and then the dual battery box for it, and this actually ends up sitting somewhere over there like that. I just kind of mocked this up. We're still painting it, getting it ready. I don't have all the stuff in yet. Put one order in, took like almost 3 months to get all the parts in. And then I'm gonna put another one in, and hopefully that should be it for the motor. Now I'll have to do one more to change it, because it's a manual transmission Jeep, over to an automatic, and get the transmission to bolt up to it. So some of the stuff we had to do to the bottom end is, since it was a car, you gotta take your, this is your oil pan that would have been on your car. And the sump is in the front. There's where the transmission goes. Sump's in the front, so its sump tube was short. Set up in there like that. The oil pump's in the front of these motors. So when you change it out to a truck, new oil pan gasket. They could be reusable, but why take the chance? And then you gotta change one of the main bearing cap bolts out to a longer bolt that has a stud on the end of it to accept your pickup tube to go to the back, and it goes back in. One of the other things we're still waiting on parts for is the gasket for you change your oil filter out. Off the car had a cooler set up on it, changes out to a truck, and that's where it's going to go. But when you order it, you would think they would send all the gaskets, but they only send the middle one, and the outside one was on back order, so I was hoping it was the same as the one that came off, and of course it's not. There's what was on it before, but like I said, I was hoping it was going to be the same. Well, it's actually this way, not like that. I was hoping it was going to be the same, but it's a little bit big, so not going to work. So I gotta order one of those and patiently wait for it to come in. But that's where it's at. This motor's got this kind of got everything thrown on top there, just so you say. Like I said, this is off of your top's off a Grand Cherokee with a Hemi in it, so it fits under the hood. And then you have to punch out right in here is where your dipstick now goes. There's a little brass, like a freeze plug in there, since they share the blocks with a truck. But on a car, it used to be on the passenger side right there. That's where it used to go. So you're switching out. Like I said, that all comes from the Grand Cherokee. This motor we got supposedly had 35,000 miles on it, and it definitely looks like it. Super clean on the inside. I mean, it hasn't even stained it, the oil, from having used oil in it. So everything's super clean on it. Bottom looked brand new. So I still got to do the sensors. All the sensors got to get swapped out on it to go to the pickup truck We got to get the housing mount that goes up to support the transmission, because it was on the oil pan in the car. On the truck, it's a separate piece. Gotta get that to bolt under there. Probably gonna have to see what the pickup tube or the thermostat housing looks like on a truck, but this one had that piece right there, your hose for the oil cooler. And since we're not putting an oil cooler, I'll either have to get one for a truck, or if it doesn't work, I'll just cut that off and TIG weld it and flip it to the back side and never see it. But there's most of the stuff that's been removed. Like I said, oil pan, pickup tube, alternator's going back on, motor mount's going away. There's the new dipstick tube for it. Coils, they'll go back on, obviously, unless you wanted to upgrade it. AC unit, you don't use, you use the one off the Jeep. And there's the old wiring harness to go away. Some of the other stuff we've gotten, just to show. Some of it is the custom-made radiator from Griffin Radiator out South Carolina. Took them about 8 weeks to make it, but it's all custom built specifically for it. It's not, was that Mishimoto or whatever that makes, about the only one that makes it now that you can buy directly online, but it's made in China, so you take it for what it is. But I don't think they had the fan set up, so this one they did the custom dual fan shroud for me and custom built the radiator completely for it to go right in there. So the AC condenser is supposed to hook up to it. I still gotta find a transmission cooler. I didn't like the ones that they run, so I'm gonna find somebody else out there and pick up one for it. And then I also picked up their reservoir, little straight tube bottom pickup, so you can't see any of the hoses. Bolts right to the side, clean, should look good in there. But like I said, I'm happy with it. Turned out good. Cost a lot more than Mishimoto, but like I said, it turns out better. And you got the aluminum shroud. If you're gonna run a factory fan, you can run a mechanical fan. You may not have to go to that, or you may not want to go to electric. You may not need the shrouds. You might be able to go to the Mishimoto ones. But the only thing I didn't like about that is it literally looked exactly like the, if you look at their the JK on their website and the Hemi conversion one, it's the exact same radiator. They just moved the ports. This one's actually larger and built, designed for the Hemi internally. So I was happy to spend the extra money, especially living in the South. Definitely gets hot. So, but that's how it's going. For those of you that were curious, long project. If you're just doing it here or there, getting the pieces together. But we end up painting the front all black, freshen the block up. She's doing this in green, as you can see. The other side that's green. I think she's doing the center cap on that in green, kind of match her little decal she's got up there in the corner. But still got more parts to order. Thanks to COVID, it could take a while, but that's where it's at. Hopefully we this weekend we should be placing the last order for the motor stuff, and we can start putting this back together. I'm waiting on the last parts. But if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them. I'll get back to you when I can on it, and steer you in the direction of how long I've gotten so far on this. I can help you out with that part. So, all right, thanks for watching.